Hey everybody, it's Ann Paulson here, and welcome back to some more Football Manager 2014 Play Up Pompey. And we are at the beginning of the second season. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to sort of do a roundup of what happened at the end of the first season and show you my transfer dealings over the summer so far. And then we will go into a live com game, which will be our opening game of the season in League One, away at Bristol City. So, end of the season, last season in League Two, we finished second in the table, 8 points in the end behind runaway winners Tranmere, who won the title. But we secured second place with a game to spare in the end, and Stevenage secured that third automatic promotion spot. In the playoffs, hopefully I should be able to have a look at them. There we go. York got through the playoff final on penalties. A big game, that one, at Wembley, and York managing to come out on top and join us in League One. Speaking of League One, which is where we're at this season. Oh, before I carry on though, just to check, Plymouth and Gateshead were relegated from the Football League. Unfortunate. Gateshead, who came up in this season, I put them into the League Two. My so-called prediction to win the conference playoffs, which I believe are today, in fact. So good luck to the sides involved in that playoff final. I believe it's Cambridge United and Gateshead. So good luck to both teams in that game. I'm actually just checking it up now to make sure. Yeah, it's 4 o'clock kickoff today. So good luck to both sides in that match. Right, but back to the task at hand. Coming up from the Skrill Premier into League Two were Bristol Rovers, who were relegated in real life, so I put them down there, and they were comprehensive winners of the Skrill Premier with a 13-point cushion on second place Braintree. And Grimsby came up via the playoffs, so well done to the Grimsby for getting back into the Football League. Who came down with Bristol Rovers? I'm trying to remember. Torquay, and they finished 10th in the table. That's a disappointing finish for Torquay. So unfortunate for them. League One in the last season, Preston, comprehensive league winners. So they done a double in essence, because they won the Johnson's Paint Trophy as well. So a good season for Preston fans. They were joined by Sheffield United automatically. Good job for them to be back in the Championship. And Barnsley won the playoffs in that division. Let's have a look who they beat in the final of the playoff. They beat Doncaster by a goal to nil at Wembley through a Connor Newton goal in the 70th minute. So good job for him. And now they are playing Championship football at the first attempt after being relegated the previous season. Speaking of relegation from League One was Port Vale. A surprise, actually, Rotherham, because Rotherham, in real life, I believe, did they win their game? Because I know they played quite recently. They played their second leg, didn't they, with Preston? I'm going to quickly check that one up too now. I think they... did they win? Let's find out. Yes, Rotherham did win. They won 3-1 on the night and 4-2 on aggregate. So yeah, Rotherham are in the playoff final in real life. So it's mad to see them actually relegated the following season, according to Football Manager. Southend back down after I put them up. They were my prediction to win the playoffs, although they did unfortunately go out yesterday of the playoffs to Burton Albion. Congratulations to Burton, who played Fleetwood in the League 2 playoff final in real life. Rochdale down as well. They came up. And Port Vale were the other team as well. And I think they came up as well. So poor season for the promoted teams in League One. To the Championship now. and Norwich won the league, getting back into the Premiership at the first attempt, and Fulham joined them automatically, also their first attempt. They were back up, and Blackburn joined them in the Premier League with getting promotion, avoiding a full house of the relegated teams going straight back up, because Cardiff did make the playoffs but didn't manage to get the job done. Who did Blackburn beat in the playoff final? They actually beat Cardiff by 3-1 at Wembley, so big win there from Blackburn. Tom Kenny, Jordan Rhodes scored from the spot, and Rudy Gusted against his old club, making it 3-0. So that's a mad thing to see. But Joe Mason's consolation goal not enough, and Blackburn play Premier League football. Relegated teams: Charlton, Brentford down at the first attempt. They couldn't stay in the league, unlike their fellow promoted sides. Where did the other promoted sides finish? In fact, let's have a quick look. I'm actually struggling to see them. Wolves finished 9th. They had a good season. And Leyton Orient finished 11th. So a good season from the promoted sides from League One to the Championship. So very good there. As I said, Charlton, Brentford and Bolton are down. And QPR took a 10-point deduction this season. So they should have probably finished where Leyton Orient finished, in 11th place. Still a disappointing season for QPR fans there, though. On to the Premier League. And Manchester United won the league by 11 points from their blue rivals City. So United must have done some decent business in with the transfers. That's this season. They brought 3 players. They brought Stefan Savic, Ryan Gold and Andriy Yarmolenko. So they didn't really do anything special in the transfer window. They did sell Chicharito to Barcelona, Makeda to Reading, Will Keane to Celtic and Anderson to Everton. So some interesting transfers there. Go back now to the table. Chelsea and Arsenal got the Champions League places. Newcastle finished 5th. So the game predicting that maybe Alan Pardew can bring Newcastle back to better times in this season. My boys Swansea finishing 10th place. Good to see them stay in solidly at mid-table, staying in the Premier League as well. Leicester and Derby, two of the newly promoted sides, going back down, unfortunately. And that makes it a surprise, because the only team that came up that'll stay in the league, it was Burnley, which is very interesting to see. Crystal Palace, the other team, down. So the Football Manager predicting that Tony Pulis is going to be a one-season wonder. Let's hope I'm not a one-season wonder. Let's have a look now at the transfers that I've done for this season. And there we go. That's last season's, I think, in fact. Yes, it is. So obviously all the loans have terminated, so loans are nothing. But we've brought in 5 players in the summer. I would have preferred to do a lot more business, if I'm honest with you, but I've had to deal with the financial constraints that are associated with Portsmouth Football Club. Although I have been assured by the board that the financial situation is improving, so you never know, pretty soon we might be able to become a bit more competitive in the transfer market, and we'll see. But anyway, our signings, Isaac Osborne, is our first signing on a free. We needed a defensive midfielder. We lost Ross Jenkins. His loan spell ended, so we needed someone to fill that spot, and I think Isaac Osborne could be just the man to do it. He's got all the attributes. Look at that, 17 aggression, 17 determination. Looks like the type of player we're going to need in this Portsmouth side to stay in the league. Angelo Balanta, his contract with QPR expired, so we decided to make his loan move a permanent one. Balanta did some big things for us in League 2 last season, so hopefully he can make the step up to League 1 and help us at least consolidate our position in the league. Alan Sheehan, we needed a new left back. We let Marcus Painter go on a free transfer. We weren't going to use him, and we picked up this guy instead, and this guy's stats are pretty damn impressive. He's got good crossing. He's good at corners. He's good at free kicks. He's a generally good set-piece taker, which is going to be needed, especially since Nicky Shorey's our main set-piece taker, and he's getting on in years as well. And he's got a decent amount of pace as well, so this guy is going to fit the bill just nicely, and he can play centre-back as well, with some decent centre-back stats as well, not too shabby at all. Right back, we signed a new player with an unpronounceable name, because Yasin went to Barnet on a free in the summer. So we got Arnaud Anastasawa on a free. He's a Bulgarian, I believe. Yep, he's a Bulgarian right back. And although his stats aren't particularly impressive, he will do a job. But something, a little bit of a spoiler for the upcoming game with Bristol City, though, is that he won't be doing the job for us immediately, because hopefully it is on this page. Well, it's not the full extent, but it does say there, look, frustrated that his injury is hampering his settling into his new club. Yes, he has picked up an early injury, which is bad news for us. Where can I see the proper extent of the injury? I'm trying to look. It doesn't. Where's his? It's got to say something like that. Player status. There we go. We get it like that. Currently receiving specialist treatment for a damaged Achilles tendon, out for 3 to 4 months. So pretty much the majority of the 2014 portion of this season, he is going to be missing out on, and it's quite a big blow for us at an early stage of the season. But we are hoping that he will play a part for us. And finally, Ryan Williams in on loan from Fulham. We did look at this guy last season before we brought in Donald McDermott, but we ran out of money when it came to trying to bring in players to fill the positions that we required. So we got this guy in on loan for the season. Hopefully he can do a job for us on loan from now Premier League from Fulham, of course. So we hopefully get some big use out of this guy. As for the players out, it's loans for these two, Lewis Horsburgh and Bradley Tarbuck, both gone on loan to Tamworth for the season. Connor Chaplin, I was surprised by the offer we had for this guy. I mean, he's a decent-looking young striker, to be honest with you. Looked like he's a very good he'd be a very good target man, but I don't use a system that really necessitates a target man. So I allowed him to move on, especially with a £250,000 offer from Celtic. I couldn't really turn it down, so especially with the financial situation. The players that we released at the end of their contracts: Phil Smith, the goalkeeper, Marcus Painter at left back, as I said earlier, Thierry Racon. He did start playing his way back into our plans, but in the end he was never really going to be staying at the club long term. Jake Jervis, a young striker, he could have possibly stayed, but to be honest, it's nice to have him off the wage bill. I just noticed that he's found a club, so let's see if all these players have found clubs. Phil Smith hasn't found a club. Marcus Painter hasn't found a club yet. Terry Racon hasn't found a club yet. Jake Jervis is the only one so far then. He signed for Fleetwood, so that's a decent move for him. Ashley Harris, we let this guy go on a free, 20-year-old striker. We're going to use him really, and he hasn't found a club yet. Liam Triggs, right back, we're going to use him either. In all honesty, his potential wasn't great. He hasn't found a club yet. Jack Maloney, another one in that boat. Hasn't found a club. Nick Orford, same. And Josh Warren, same deal again. And George Branford, same deal as well. Very ugly looking man, by the way. As for proper transfers, as I told you, Yasin moved to Barnet on a free. His contract was up. Barnet came in. He said we wanted him, so I said fine, yeah, talk to him. It's out of my hands. Roman Padovani to Barnsley for £20,000. Again, another player that we weren't going to use. He's already down in the reserves now with Barnsley, so that's an interesting thing. They've clearly not impressed with what they bought for their buck. And Tom Craddock to Braintree for £20,000. Typically with this kid, right, the day before he got sold to Braintree, he said he wanted to stay. So I just pretty much told him, you dicked us around for too long, so no, you're off, get out of my club. And their season hasn't started yet, but he has played he's made two non-competitive appearances, and scored 1 goal, so not bad for him. Anyway, we've done that bit of business. Oh, that's a small update. I mean, we did go in for the Jordan Graham on loan from Aston Villa, and Villa accepted, but the player himself rejected, which was disappointing. And the reason we've gone in for him, because Aston Villa have taken us on as a parent club. So that's good of them. So we've got the option of getting some Villa players in on loan, maybe to help us out, should the occasion merit it. And of course, as I said with Jordan Graham, should the players want to come to the club. I was gutted because Jordan Graham's stats for a winger would have been ideal for us. I mean, he's namely a left mid, but I would have been playing him on the right. And look at that, 17 dribbling, 16 acceleration, 14 pace. That would have been vital for us down in League One. But never mind that now. We've got a game to contend with. Our opening game of the season against Bristol City. And it's reminded me, actually, we've got a big problem because not only is the right back injured, the new right back, but also our backup goalkeeper is injured, John Sullivan. He is out. What was his injury again? I can't remember. Oh, he's out with a cold, man. Are you serious? One day, and I could have put him on the bench, but no, he's got a cold. Buy yourself a bag of man, for God's sake. Right, so we're going to have to... can we name him on the bench? I doubt we can, to be honest with you. If we can, then we'll go forward with it. Yeah, he's injured. Yeah, I thought so. Right, so... we're going to have to call upon an under-18s goalkeeper to fill the bench. Ross Pickett's not bad. Paul Taber's okay. Austin Inns. We're going to go with Ross Puckett. He seems to be a decent young goalkeeper. So, oh, we don't want to do that. That would really mess up my day. So, there we go. We've got the team picked. James in goal. Sheehan, Bradley, Watmow. Now, this one thing I've got to update you with the squad as well. I've called up 2 youngsters that are looking very promising in central defence. I've called them into the senior team for this season. Jack Watmow. Now, this guy looks really, really promising. I mean, his pace is not the greatest, but his defensive stats are tremendous. If he can improve his concentration a bit, then this kid could be world class. And the other one, Adam Webster, he's on the bench today. He's got some decent defensive stats as well. Same really applies with him. If we can improve his concentration a bit, he can be a great player. What else was I going to say? He's a bit quicker than Watmow, but his actual technicals are not as good. So the team, as I said, James in goal, Sheehan, Bradley, Watmow, and East at right back because of course, the injury to Anas Tasawa. Osborne playing in the defensive mid, Ferry in centre midfield. Then we've got Balanta, Holmes, and Williams in the midfield. That midfield trio, Holmes playing that cam position. Hopefully he can do wonders again this season like he did last season. And Salvatore Foti, the wonder goal scorer himself. Let me show you his stats from last season quickly before we get into the game because, unbelievable. That line doesn't really flatter him. This does, right at the bottom of the screen there. 51 appearances, 39 goals, 17 assists, and 11 man of the matches for an average rating of 7.38 over a season. He was phenomenal last season, and hopefully he can recreate that form in League One. So, enough with the talk. It's time. We're ready. let's get to the game with Bristol City. Squad numbers required for 2 players. Fair enough. Ryan Williams can have number 22. Puckett can have number 13. We'll submit them numbers. Here we go. Sam Baldock up front for Bristol City. Scott Wagstaff on the wing. They've got a decent little team, Bristol City, so we've got to try and do the best we can in this game. And let's give the team talk right now. And here we go, guys. Game on. And we move past the initial kickoff highlight. Free kick now in the 9th minute to Bristol City in their own defence. Sheehan with the interception though. Bradley on the ball. Finds Ferry. Into Holmes. Finds Osborne. Osborne whacked the ball at Holmes and he couldn't really do a lot with it, but now Bristol City gain possession and they can move the ball about in the middle of the park a bit. Wagstaff now gets it wide on the right. To James. Back to Wagstaff. Good tackle by Sheehan at the back. But Balanta, oh, I thought he lost the ball there, but he has kept it. Holmes is tackled, but Balanta keeps possession. Ferry finds Fotty. And Fotty has found Ferry through on goal. Good save by Fielding in the Bristol City goal. A very good goalkeeper is, I believe that is Frank Fielding in goal. Corner comes in. It's headed away as far as Williams. Bradley keeps the ball alive. Finds Ferry. Ferry can cross it back in. Oh, and Holmes was the target, but Williams with the header away. Luke James looking for the counter-attack over the top ball, but nothing came of it. And it remains 0-0. On to the 16th minute. Free kick. Oh, mistake from David James! And it's a tap-in! Sam Baldock does not need a second opportunity like that. He will put that in the net at will. And Bristol City lead at Ashton Gate through Sam Baldock. 23rd minute. Can Portsmouth respond? Balanta with a poor pass. That's the sort of thing that he cannot be getting away with at this level. Kick towards Bryan. Now Kelly. Towards Luke James. Now Routledge. To Wagstaff. That's not Wayne Routledge, of course. And Baldock has flicked it down nicely to Luke James, and that's a good block. It's a corner to Bristol City. And David James has picked up a knock. That's a bit of a worry for us. Sonny Bradley heads away the corner from Routledge. Because, of course, as we mentioned at the beginning of the video, the only player on the bench, the goalkeeper, is an under-18s player. Corner comes in, it's not cleared away. Wagstaff with a chance, good block, second opportunity, and Scott Wagstaff has made it 2-0 to Bristol City. And it may be underlining the difficulties facing Portsmouth in this upcoming season. 38th minute free kick, and Ferry's free kick is straight to Fielding. Kick from Fielding now. James is the target. Headed down to Routledge nicely. It's Bryan on the wing. Cunningham on the overlap. Cunningham with a great over-the-top ball for Luke James. It's 3. Bristol City are carving Portsmouth apart. And there's not a lot they can do about it. David James will have to come off at half-time. Looks like so will Ryan Williams. He's picked up a knock at the at some stage of this half. Half-time then, Bristol City 3, Portsmouth 0. The hairdryer treatment's going to have to be dished out. So the youth goalkeeper Ross Puckett's going to have to make an appearance in goal, as he has to replace David James at half-time. We're also going to bring on Andy Barcham for the second half to replace Ryan Williams. Ricky Holmes is going to go out on the wing, and Barcham's going to play inside. So hopefully that will make the difference in the second half, because I don't want to be really using any more substitutions. If I can at all help it, Puckett resumes play. The goal kick, minute into the second half. Sheehan down the line for Ferry. Ferry plays it to Balanta, who's lost possession. El Abd was on him so fast. Routledge looks for Baldock, headed by Osborne. El Abd finds Wagstaff. Routledge to Luke James. And Baldock is in again behind the defence, and Puckett makes the save. Good goalkeeping by the youngster to keep out Sam Baldock and limit the damage. Routledge with the corner, headed away by Sheehan at the back. Baldock finds Routledge, cross goes in, and Puckett claims. And maybe Portsmouth are finding a hidden gem in goal with Ross Puckett. Balanta looks like he's picked up a knock as well now, so we're going to have to keep an eye on him. Puckett with the claim from the kick, by the way. 10 minutes gone. Fotty heads down for Barcham. And Fotty could be in again here. Chance for Portsmouth, and they've got their goal. Salvatore Fotty is off the mark for the season for Portsmouth. And it's 3-1. Cunningham into the book for Bristol City. That is the first yellow card of the game. Now the change will have to be made. Balanta's going to have to come off. And he's going to be replaced by Wes Fogden. And Simon Ferry will move into that attack in midfield now. And that's all the dice rolled now by Portsmouth with 25 minutes to go. Going to chuck it into attacking. There's nothing to lose now, really, in the last quarter of an hour of the game. Maybe should have even done it earlier, but that's the power of hindsight for you, really, isn't it? Barcham on the ball. Looks to switch it towards Holmes. Cunningham heads it as far as Osborne. And Ricky Holmes could be in here. And Ferry's got the tap in. It's 3-2. It's game on again here at Ashton Gate. Simon Ferry opens his account for the season. And now we've really got to go for it. Oh, it didn't click. What the hell? It might have been the right time to try and go overload, though. And that's the final whistle. The comeback is not complete, but a great effort from Portsmouth. And I've got to praise the boys for showing the heart to try and get themselves back into the game. But unfortunately, it just wasn't our day. 3-2 the final score to Bristol City. Up next is the Capital One Cup against Reading away. We'll be fielding a second team for that game. We don't want to be concentrating on the Capital One Cup. We want to be concentrating on survival in League One. So David James is out for 9 to 12 days, so hopefully resting him, well, he wasn't going to be playing a part in the Capital One Cup anyway, so hopefully giving him that time to rest up will stand him in good stead to return, maybe for the big game at home to Stevenage. Who knows? So after that game, let's check the league table, and we lie after one game in 14th place, which if you say to me right now you'll finish 14th place, I'll bite your hand off. And I bet Tranmere would do the same, because back-to-back league titles, they would really take that. But thank you very much for watching, guys. That's been the video. It's been a bit of a long one today, but I wanted to make sure you were all filled in on all the specifics, all the details of what's been happening on my save lately. So if you've liked the video, please leave a like, leave a comment. I do appreciate every bit of feedback, and I try to respond to everything as soon as I see it. But take care, guys. I'll speak to you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye for now.